Hi, welcome to Paranormal Kativity. Today I wanted to give you guys kind of a creepy update. Some weirdness has gone down and I thought I should fill you guys in on it. And I have a couple things to unbox that I received in my P.O. box, so I'm going to be opening that as well. The main creepy thing that happened, I posted on Twitter about it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a full-blown video about it, but it is creeping me out. And if you follow me there, you already know what I'm going to be talking about, but I made this post, which I put somewhere around here. I have a scar that never was there before. I noticed it at work, which now is 3 days ago. I happened to be looking in the mirror after I had washed my hands, and I was like, what is that? As a person who wears makeup, I touch my face every day, unless I'm like really not planning on doing makeup, but I'd say 99% of the days I'm putting makeup on my face. I know my face pretty well. I have some things that have crept up over the years. Like I have a little age spot over here that never used to be there before. But that's like normal things that pop up on people's faces. You don't normally have a whitish, lighter than your skin tone color scar that looks like it's been healed for years that you never had before. I'm telling you, I have never had any kind of injury to my mouth, scrape, cut, otherwise, that would leave this little bitty scar on my lower lip, like right underneath it. It freaks me out. I don't like it. I mean, I used to have my lip pierced. I was very familiar with the area around my mouth. That was never there. And I posted it on Twitter and a bunch of other people have said like, oh, I've also had scars appear from nowhere. I even found on a Reddit thread a girl named Kat who had a very large scar appear on her back out of nowhere. And it's like, what is this? Why is this happening to people? I'm not the only one, but I've never had something like this happen. Like you hear about people waking up with like scratches on them and thinking it's something paranormal. It's not often that I at least had heard about scarring, very well healed, very old scars appearing out of nowhere. So that's the most recent weird thing. I really don't know what to make of it, and it just kind of creeps me out. So any thoughts, support, comments, if you guys have had similar things happen, I would love to know about it, and that way I know I'm not alone, so tell me about that. The fringy part of my brain keeps going, is it like a weird dimensional shift? Like did you dimensional jump and not mean to? Is it some kind of glitch in the matrix of just your personal matrix? Would that in turn kind of fall into more of the Mandela effect things? Although Mandela effects tend to be more of like a public thing, but everybody around me that I've pointed it out to, they never noticed it before either, so it's not something that's existed forever, but I'm just now aware of it. It's just new and weird and I don't like it. I've had some weird dreams lately too that I'll touch on in a minute, but the other really weird thing that I've noticed a huge ramp up on, probably since about December, maybe even November of last year, is technology and its ability to be listening in and getting information. And I know that it's written in tons of terms of service for different apps, all of our smartphones, all of our smart TVs, pretty much most electronics right now that are produced lately have some way of getting additional information from us. And you know, normally I think we're all kind of used to it, so it's not that weird. But the weirdest thing that happened was I was at a group meditation with my mother-in-law and some friends. All of them had their phones off except for myself and Alex's mom, but they were turned down, they were on silent. We were having a discussion about YouTube and what we listened to meditation-wise on our own. And myself and the person who was leading the group talked about The Honest Guys, which I've mentioned on here before. I really like some of their meditations. Alex's mom gets home that night. She does not listen to meditation on her phone. She was saying she'd like to get more information when we were having this discussion, but she normally listens to like body healing things occasionally, and usually it's like the same one. She got at the top of her recommended feed as soon as she got home was The Honest Guys. That's creepy. I've had a lot more instances of things syncing up. I didn't know all of them. I know one of the weirder ones was, I'm not a huge like cereal person. I don't eat it very often, but I was at work one night and I got some soy milk and some Special K red berry cereal, and that was gonna be my dinner that night. I get home and I start having ads for Special K red berries. Like all of the time. Like every time there's a video ad, that's what it's for. And I know like I use my phone number as my ID card at a lot of like places to shop. So I was like, well, maybe my phone number is somehow linked to my phone itself and that's why it knew it. I don't know. It's just weird because it's not something I normally get. I even had one where I saw an ad in a magazine, hadn't verbally said anything about it at all, but I did notice the ad visually. And then the next ad that I saw on my YouTube app was for the product that I saw in the magazine. And I was like, nope, I don't like this. Here's a really weird random one. Alex made a joke involving Daddy Yankee, and like immediately after we had that conversation, it popped up as a recommended video on our PlayStation, something with Daddy Yankee. Like, it's really odd. We have a lot of these things happen already, like synchronistically, where it's just kind of strange, but the ones that are picking up like little verbal cues and putting it right into our minds have been really evident and really bizarre. And I don't know if something changed in all of those terms and conditions that we have given permissions to that made it so they can listen even more and push ads even more. But it's weird. It's creepy beyond normal. And I know that I'm not the only one, because I'd mentioned a couple times on Twitter too about how some things were happening where I'm just getting a lot of weird ads that are way too specific, and people were like, yes, I'm going through the same thing. And so I know I'm not alone in this. It's just too freaking weird. I feel like there's been more Mandela effects popping up lately too. I'm hoping to do an updated Mandela effect video or possibly a podcast. Alex has switched shifts at work now, and so I don't know how well the podcast is going to be able to get done now with our new scheduling. It's a much better schedule though, which we really enjoy, but I don't know how well it's going to work with our podcast timing. So I may end up doing it as a regular video. We'll see what happens, but I feel like there's been a lot more Mandela effects too that have crept up that are also very weird and very interesting. I will say, in regard to normal creepy activity at my house, like haunted dolls, nothing. Nothing at all. And I've said before, like, I don't know if maybe they just enjoy my house and don't feel agitated enough to cause activity, but nothing's really going down there. Although, I did find out, I already knew about the Traveling Haunted Objects Museum that I believe is in Ohio. Yes, I think. But I found out about another haunted objects museum that doesn't travel. I want to say it's in Nebraska, possibly. And they do like a challenge where you have to sit in with the haunted objects, and I want to go so bad. It looks amazing. Speaking of great and scary though, I am attending the Days of the Dead convention in Indianapolis coming up. If you guys are planning on going, find me, let me know. And I am in the works of trying to find out if I'm going to Horror Hound, and I do plan on going to PopCon as well. So there's 3 Indianapolis conventions that I should be attending at least one day of each. I think 4 Days of the Dead I'm going to try and go all 3 days. But if you're going, let me know, and then that way maybe I can meet some of you guys in real life, which would be really cool. Last but not least, I had a few weird dreams. One of which I put on my Patreon for patrons only. So if you're a patron, you may have already heard about this, but I had an alien dream. It's probably beginning of February, maybe mid-February. And in the dream, I shouldn't say alien, this was a UFO dream. I did have an alien dream shortly after. So my UFO dream, I'm standing outside, the sky is teal, kind of teal colored. And I'm seeing, like, when you look up a skyscraper, how the windows are like going like this. I was seeing that, but in the sky, like it was moving downwards. And it reminded me of looking up at a skyscraper, but then I realized like the top of it's getting wider and wider, and before I know it, it's the wing of a craft. And I'm outside and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to show Alex. So I'm getting out my phone and I'm trying to get to my camera, and then the weird part happens where I saw this experience from multiple perspectives at once. So I saw myself getting footage of it and being frozen in place in the street, seeing myself getting footage of it while getting into the car, seeing myself getting footage of it inside the car, being able to send it to Alex, uploading it to YouTube. Then I saw the same footage that I captured posted on YouTube under another user with a different person talking, and I was watching it. Then I also saw it from like different perspectives of other people in the area who'd uploaded it to YouTube and posted it. So it was like I got like a whole group experience of this one moment. And then after the moment was over, I just kept feeling like I have to tell Alex, I have to send this to Alex. I'm looking at my phone and I'm trying to send it. And I wake up with that still like heart racing feeling of, oh my gosh, I have to tell Alex. Like it was very real in that moment, but I got overwhelmed with this sense of like, you're just tired, go back to sleep. And you know, when you're really sleepy, you just do it. So I fell back asleep. I didn't remember this dream till halfway through the next day. You know, normally you wake up to remembering your dreams and they fade throughout the day. This one was just like, boop, remember this? And as I was remembering it, that feeling of like, oh, I needed to tell Alex about this came back. And then I had this like thought in my head that just goes, it's okay, the aliens are helping you manifest your destiny. And I was like, cool. And to me in that moment, that's all I needed to hear. And I was totally fine. It was the weirdest, guys, the weirdest. Then like within 2 or 3 days, I had a dream where I was laying in bed and I could see like through my ceiling, through like a circular window, kind of, but it wasn't actually like a window. It was like a point of view, more or less. But I could see up to a spacecraft, in through the window, at a being who was looking back at me. But then the weirdest dream that I had was just after that. It was beginning of March. I had a dream where I was in this house and the door opened, the living room door. Somebody was at the door talking to somebody who was outside. I don't remember who it was. And I look over and out of the corner of my eye, it's 2 black-eyed kids. And I'm like yelling at the person. I'm like, shut the door, don't let them in. And they look back at me like I'm nuts. And then the kids turn and look at me, and as they turn, their eyes turn normal. And they're looking at me like, why would you say that? But you can tell something's off. And the fact that they could shapeshift in front of me freaked me out. So that was a fun dream. And it made me look into black-eyed kids' experiences to see if people have encountered black-eyed kids that seem to shapeshift their eyes and make them look normal if they want to. I have yet to find any that have, but if you know of any instances of this happening, please do let me know or send me links on social media, because it was a very interesting dream, at least. It stuck with me. I mean, it's been a month and a half and I still was thinking about it. So now that the weird stuff update is updated, and this little guy is definitely the creepiest, freaks me out, I'm gonna not creep myself out and open some mail. So thank you to people sending me things in my P.O. box. If you want to send me things, if you didn't catch that address, info's down below. Okay. Oh, how cute! Oh, I love it! So cute. The art itself is done by Kelly and J. Spencer Shull. I believe I know who sent this to me too. I know your Snapchat name and I am blanking on your real name. I'll have to ask you, but thank you so much. He went to a convention not that long ago and said he would grab me something cool. You definitely delivered, because this thing's awesome and adorable and I love it. So thank you. Now this one has a little teaser of what it is. She sent me art before. This one's from Mickey. Thank you so much in advance, because I know I'm gonna love it. Oh, a big picture. Okay. Aw, do you guys remember I shared this? She did a little witch of me. How cute is that? I didn't know I'd get it big and printed. Oh. My other fave. Do you guys remember when she did this one for me? I shared this one too. I love it. Me as a zombie is the freaking coolest thing ever. Thank you so much. Ooh. Oh, and it says happy birthday. Thank you. My birthday was in February. This has been sitting downstairs for like a few weeks. Not gonna lie. This is why Mona Lisa is smiling. Thank you so much for the birthday wish and the beautiful, beautiful art that you create. My gosh. How are you so talented? I don't even understand. And then thank you again for this cute little guy. I love him. You guys are just gonna make my cabinet so much more beautiful than it already is, and it makes me so happy. So thank you guys so much for watching and for getting some of my weirdness updates. Please do let me know if you've experienced anything strange yourself lately. The scarring is definitely peculiar, and I want to make sure I'm not the only one going through that, because it's weird. But yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. A huge thank you to Jason Riddle and all of my Patreon peeps for being amazing and supporting everything I do here on YouTube. If you guys want to become a patron, info is in the description box. You can also buy a Paranormal Captivity shirt if you feel like it. They're pretty cool. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet and turn on notifications. That way you get notified anytime that I upload. I'm Kat and this is Paranormal Captivity. Have a strange day. Bye!